When is the last time that you actually did something hard? I was sitting here, I had just tried that peanut butter and potato chips and jelly sandwich or toast. Pretty good. The chips just add texture. You can't really taste them that much, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. I was sitting here thinking, I can't remember the last time I did something really deeply or truly challenging to me. I have accomplished a lot of things. I have done a lot of things. And I know that there are a lot of people who are proud of me and people who might be impressed by things that I have done. And being honest, I have a hard time being impressed and proud of myself. So I say that as like a little disclaimer that it's something that I struggle with. And so that might be feeding into why I don't feel like I've done anything hard. But I don't know that that's the full story. Like, I don't feel like it's just that I struggle with, feeling proud or accomplished, because there is this feeling of everything that I've done has been mapped out for me. You know what I mean? Everything that I've done, yes, it might have been challenging. Yes, it might have been, there were some bumps along the way. There was some huge inconveniences for myself and others who were supporting me. Like, I'm not saying that things were easy. They weren't, but there was a game plan. There was, if I do A, then B. If I do B, then C. If I do C, then D. Sometimes stuff is shaky. I am a millennial, and I know many of us went in thinking, if I just do this, then, I'm going to have this experience, and that's not what's happening. But within that, there are so many frameworks and game plans and kind of building blocks that we can use to achieve a certain status, get to a certain place, make certain progress. And if you just, it's a lot of plug and play. If you just you have to figure out which game you're trying to play. And that can be difficult. But once you figure out the game, you just kind of plug it in and go. You just do the things. And I feel like so much of what I've accomplished and what I have achieved has been from that plug and play model. I just needed to pick the thing, do the things. And yes, there are privileges and supports and all those things. So I'm not neglecting those aspects of things, but I just did it. And some people were not able to do it. They got the program, they plugged it in, and they couldn't do it. And so I see that there is accomplishment in being able to successfully play the game, successfully implement. But there's something about the idea of doing something that requires not just the plug and play and being able to follow the protocol, follow the steps, but doing something where you feel like I built it, I achieved it, I accomplished it, I created it. I had to figure it out, and not figure it out from that survival space. Many of us have to deal with that, trying to, how am I going to eat? How am I going to pay my rent? How am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? There is some figuring out there, of course, but where it's coming from is, we're not talking about that kind of thing. Talking about that sense of like, I created it, I built it, I made this thing happen. This thing didn't exist before, or it only existed in this way and now it's existed in another way, and that could just be the life that you create for yourself. Maybe you're the first one in your family to live a certain kind of lifestyle and you achieve that, and that, feels like a true accomplishment because you on your own, or with whatever supports you may have, had to paint that picture, build that life, create that experience without it being plug and play, without there being a roadmap, without there being a guarantee that it's going to turn out a particular way. And for all that I've done up to this point in my life, I don't feel like I've achieved that type of accomplishment or success. And I think that is something that I'm naming a quiet desire. I think that's what's happening. I'm naming a quiet desire to achieve something in that manner. And I might do it I might not. I might do it and it might not feel the way I think it's going to feel. That's always so disheartening and sad when that happens. I feel like we've all experienced that. We like do all the things and we think it's going to feel a certain way and then it doesn't. I still want the experience, whether it's going to feel good or not. So, anywho, I'm rambling. But I thought it might be something interesting for someone else to think about. Do you feel in your own person, not because someone's reflecting it back to you, that you've accomplished something and that you've successfully done something or, any of that, but in your own, spirit, in your own heart, in your own mind, do you feel like you've done something that has required you to truly work, and all the meanings of that word that it has required you to truly show up, you, not the mask or the character or the role. We all do that. We all know how to do it to varying degrees and with varying degrees of success. And sometimes all of those other accomplishments were just the mask, the role, the character. Not you. Not you. I think that's another way to say it. None of those accomplishments feel like they were truly mine because I was not always present in those experiences. I was just doing what I needed to do. I don't know. Does that resonate with anyone else? I'm assuming it does. I always assume if I'm thinking something or something resonates with me, it'll be true for someone else. So, anywho, just musing.